Guys, it's spring and it's warm today, and our poor sheep are feeling this. Look at the fur coats still on these girls. There's 20 panting over there. She's hot. This is early. We're plus 17. I don't know what that is. Probably around 62, 63 maybe Fahrenheit. And yes, they've got their shelter there, which is in the shade that they can go into. But normally I wouldn't shear these girls till April because we always get a cold snap. But I'm concerned this far in their pregnancies that they are going to overheat. So down here, let me get her where I can see her. We have Beauty. Hi, sweetheart. She's being a very good girl. You can see her sides. She's just panting. She was standing in a corner and not really moving around much. And I said, I'm going to have to do it. So you can see I have a chunk here that I've already started. We use old-fashioned hand shears. So it's a bit of a process. It probably takes me 45 minutes to an hour for each sheep. Depends how cooperative they are. Beauty is a good girl. She's one of our older ewes, and we have sheared her a few times now in this method. But what I wanted to just show you here quickly is one of the things that we breed for in our Icelandics is a sheep that breaks their fleece. Now what a break is, let me see if I can do this without shading. Easy, Beauty, Beauty, it's okay, sweetheart. So what we have when we have a break is your fur will actually, let's see if I can get this without my hand in it. Okay, see here, you got this nice soft fur undercoat. And when they break in the spring, you can actually just pull it out. See that? It will just pull out. Now, is that comfortable for them to do that? No, but naturally they would lose their fur out in the wild or whatever. It would eventually fall off. You can see, like if I just gently tug, it comes. Now this is a beautiful thing about shearing them in the spring because it makes it a lot easier to hand shear. In the fall, it's a bit more long-winded process because you don't have that break. What this does is you can give a tug and it thins it out, and then you just have to cut those hairs that didn't pull out. Now, one thing I do watch this time of year is not to pull too much, because here you can see, if I zoom in, let's see, right there. See that right there? That is a spot where the fur has broke right at the skin, and I don't want to leave her with no hair because we will be back down to 5-6 degrees next week, and I don't want her cold. So I just gently pull some of it to make it a little easier. It cuts easier. You're cutting less hairs, and it's a lot easier on them and easier on yourself. I'll see if I can get a little demonstration of that. All right, so this is kind of what I was talking about here. You'll see when I go to make my cut, I just kind of give a little tug. Did you see how that just pulled it all loose there? And all it is just under the hairs that didn't pull out. There you see again, see the hairs pull a bit. Again, this time of year, I don't want to just pull her hair because I want her left with enough, because it is going to get cold again, but she's dying today. So you can just kind of take your fingers like a comb and just get them in there and just pull it enough that it pulls those bits loose. And then you'll see the hair is nice and loose, easy to get your blade underneath and give a snip. Down, when you get down here, she gets a little bit greasier, but for the most part, her fur has been very clean, considering we're in the spring after a winter of eating hay and everything else. But that's the basic kind of gist of it. Now we've got another girl out here, which I may try and do later, Patches, and hers is actually falling off in clumps. So once it gets to that point, it's really important to kind of get the fleece off before the next coat starts growing, if you're going to use that fur for anything, because once you miss the break, you'll end up with lots of little bobbly hairs and breaking hairs when you go to spin. But I will bring you back once I've got her cleaned up and show you the finished product of this girl. We're going to have fun on the neck here. It's full of burrs and whatnot from the fall. So this is Beauty is one that I did not shear in the fall. So those are the ones that are going to get done first, the ones that have the extra fur coat. Beauty is all finished up. Doesn't always look super pretty doing the hand shears, but it will grow in quite quickly. Now you can see on her here, on her back especially, those areas are where the fleece had pulled, like what I was saying there, it had broke really close to the skin. And you can see there, it's not actually like I cut it there, that's just where it had broke. And that does happen. She had some really heavy mats that probably were pulling on it and causing it to break quite quickly. This would definitely be one of the reasons to make sure you shear in the fall as well, because if you've got that long hair and it mats over the winter, that does cause the break sometimes before it should happen. But she's all finished up, ready for having some babies. And I'm going to shadow that for a second. I don't know if you can see. She is wide. You're wide, Beauty. Hey? So I think we are definitely having twins, but I really hope we're not going to have triplets. These girls still have one more month yet before they're due. And boy, we're seeing some real size this year. We've never had to deal with triplets, but I really don't want to deal with bottle feeding. Triplets do happen with Icelandic, so we'll see. We're kind of hoping just for a whole bunch of twins. But time for Beauty to go. Hey, you ready to get loose again? You're so hot. That's got to feel a lot better.